Welcome to Trestle Times Talks, the voice of Franklin, New Hampshire. This is brought to you by the Franklin Communications Group, which is a nonpartisan, volunteer-powered network bringing local news and community stories to your ears. Subscribe to stay informed, share to keep your neighbors in the know, and if you've got news to share, the contact details are in the show notes. Now, here's what's happening in Franklin. Hey everybody, welcome back to the City of Franklin Candidate Series. We're thrilled to bring you conversations with candidates running in Franklin's upcoming October 2025 municipal elections. Welcome to Trestle Times. This is Justine Hoppe, and she is running in Ward 3.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you today.
Excellent. Yeah, and for everyone to get to know you a little bit more. So let's just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your background.
So mom of three. I've lived in Franklin since 2018, moved here with my mom and my husband, and jumped right into volunteering. I volunteer in a multitude of different ways, and I'm always happy to discuss that with anybody, anytime, anywhere. My prominent one is the PTSO. We're a district-wide organization that supports the schools and our students as well. So very excited to talk about that and anything else.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty easy to find you if you're out and about in town or just attending a lot of things. So what inspired you to run for city council in Ward 3? Is this your first time running?
So this is my first time running for a city council position or any citywide position. Last year I did run for state rep. I unfortunately lost, but that didn't get me down. I'm still moving and grooving. What inspired me to run for city council is I see that there's a need for bridging some gaps here, and I have good relationships with pretty much everybody in this community. So using that to my advantage and Franklin's advantage, furthermore, to help Franklin heal is my go-to thing here. That's really what I want to do. That's what it's all about.
Excellent. Awesome. And so people might want to know, so what kind of qualifications do you have from your life that you can use working in city council?
So I have a multitude of qualifications, in my opinion, anyways. I've worked for Walmart for over 23 years on the logistics side, working in an area called the traffic department. And so balancing books for the entire region of, Walmart stores and Sam's Club stores, and making sure that the books are aligned and everything. So numbers and finance, I'm pretty well good on that. I'm a people person, like I said before. I'm very eager to learn all of the ordinances and things of that matter. So I can jump right into that sort of thing. And one moment, I'm so sorry. My oldest just walked down. So just working on those sorts of things, getting fully invested and whatnot.
Do you want me to press pause?
I'm so sorry, Erica. Yes, so I want to learn more about getting into the nuances of our ordinances and fully understanding that. I want to dig deep into our budget, work alongside with our schools and kind of rectify that situation, make sure that we can really work together as a team to move Franklin forward. That's really what I want to do. Is I want to make sure that our taxpayers know what's going on. I want to break down these barriers, these walls, or get people to ask those stupid questions, so that people can feel like they really understand what's going on in Franklin and how best to address the issues that we have going on in Franklin.
Excellent. So what's your overall vision, when we're moving forward, Franklin? What do you have in mind for the city of Franklin?
So I am the chairwoman for the MOU committee. So as part of that, I really want to see businesses coming in and working in Franklin. And I know that our nonprofits are a very key role to bringing that in. We have Mill City Park that's doing great things over there with the volunteer work, the cleanup and everything. We have, the outing club working up there where people love to ski and everything. The only real issues that I can see with these, and I don't really define them necessarily as issues. It's just I want more transparency with it. So with our MOUs, I'm working on a standard operating procedure, and that'll go across the board. So, any nonprofit that comes in, we have a great organization with the Ski Mobile Club that wants to do some great things with grooming our trails. Just making sure that all of those things are kind of aligned with moving the city forward in a transparent way so that everyone understands what's going on and how best they can get involved without any of these, behind the scenes things going on that they misinterpret or misconstrue as being nefarious.
Understood. Great. So let's talk about community issues and policy questions. Cost of living is a big thing. A lot of people are concerned about that. What are your thoughts about that as far as Franklin's concerned?
Yeah, so cost of living is definitely an issue everywhere, not just in Franklin. I would love to see, our absentee landlords get more involved and potentially make that into more affordable housing for our people to move into so that they're not vacantly sitting. I want to find ways to incentivize that, so working with alongside the mayor, whoever that may be elected, if I am elected, that is, just working along with the landlords and the various people that know what's going on downtown and how we can work as a team to rectify that. And I'm going to use team a lot because it should never be a one person show. It should always be a teamwork effort, a collaborative effort with everyone in the city to make us move forward. I've spoken before about potentially finding ways to find affordable rentals for our teachers or some sort of incentive where, if we have a landlord that would give discounted rates to our teachers that want to move here, with the understanding that they're going to work in our schools for a couple of years, maybe finding a way to give them a tax break. These are just some of the ideas that I have. I don't know how feasible they are, but I would like to investigate those because I think it's very important in a different approach on how to attract more talent into our city.
It's good. I like it. So the next question is speaking of, attracting people to work here, what do you think we can do to maybe attract more and retain well-paying employers? Because we don't have a lot of those.
Right. So I think finding the incentive, what's going to make them want to do those things, because everybody has a price, whether we want to admit it or not. Everyone absolutely has a price. So I would say, finding incentives, whether it be tax breaks or whether it be, specialty permits or whatever they want to do for, say we have a great taco fest. Maybe somebody wants to build off of that and add something to it and have, I don't know, a cupcake festival or something, something along those lines. There's always going to be naysayers and everything, but I want to find the weird ways to make it work.
The weird ways
I'm
to make it work.
exactly. I love finding weird
Outside the
quirky
box,
ways.
I think is the
Exactly.
typical way it's called, right?
I love thinking outside of the box. That's one of my big things. I like throwing the spaghetti at the wall, if you will, and seeing what sticks and trying to work towards that.
Excellent. So infrastructure is a going on issue. Do you have any plans or ideas for tackling deferred maintenance like road repairs, other than how we're currently attacking it?
Yeah, so what I want to do is once I get into office, what I would really love to do is make a list. I'm a big list person, and let's start it with, what's the most important absolute needs to get done, and for us that seems to be our roads. I live on Prospect Street, and we have some really big potholes. There was even an article written not too long ago about a chicken that wouldn't cross the road. That was my chicken. He would not cross the road because of the giant potholes.
Too dangerous.
Yep, yep. So I would like to start off with making a list of what our priorities are and matching everything against that. I'm also a big, like I said, outside of the box thinker. So freeing up other projects, like such as we have the fire truck. We desperately need a new fire truck, and so I'm looking to bring a muster into the city as a fundraiser. The city of Salisbury, town of Salisbury, excuse me, invited me down. I went with Mayor Desiree down there and spoke with them, got some ideas, and that's exactly what they used their fundraiser for, was to supplement and to help, alleviate some of the taxpayer dollars that would normally go towards funding that, to use the taxpayer dollars towards something else else and using this fundraiser to fund that truck. So that's what I would like to do here is find creative ways to offset our taxpayer dollars so that we can
Yeah.
move them to our capital improvement stuff. So
And
if that
yeah,
means that I have to fundraise and get that fire truck, that frees up, $200,000 towards another opportunity.
that's true. And you know what? As a resident of Franklin, I'm aware of certain things that I see, but I've never seen a list somewhere of like, what are the things in our city that are the highest liability right now? You
Mhm.
know, and those are probably the red items that maybe need to be paid attention to. So I like your list idea as well. So if you get into office, please share the lists.
I absolutely will. I definitely want to pull back that curtain and demystify a lot of these issues so that everyone can feel included in solving the issues.
Nice. Are there any specific concerns in your ward that you'd like to address, and how would you approach them? Not every ward has specific concerns. Um,
The biggest one that I've seen is, in fact, the roads. I mean,
yeah.
Ward 3, we're pretty big, but, just drive up Prospect Street and you'll see how bad it is, and we're a pretty big hill on top of that, so
Hmm.
wintertime it can be pretty treacherous. So I would love to see that our roads get fixed. Another issue is, we have a great sewer system here, from what I can see anyways, the hardworking individuals of our municipality that work to clean them out. But I do notice that they get cluttered an awful lot. So finding a way to alleviate that, because the bottom of my driveway floods pretty regularly, and I'll go out there with
Yeah.
a stick and clean the sewer myself. But I find that that's one of the other issues is we do have some flooding issues when our sewers are not properly cleared. So,
Yeah, and I think the sewers on my street, on Central Street, are actually like slightly off the curb. So a lot of the water just runs right by the
oh
hole.
no.
Yeah. Um, so the next topic that we like to talk about is schools. As you know, we had a podcast recently with Brian and Liz. How do you see Franklin moving forward successfully with public school?
That's a big one for me. So, as president of the PTSO, we supplement the school in the best ways possible. We provide enrichment money, we provide um, field trip money. We give our teachers teacher wish list items,
That's great.
which that's mostly stuff that they end up paying for out of pocket. So we try to reimburse them with those things.
Yeah.
Uh, we also provide snack closets and we support the karma closets and things of that nature for our less fortunate students, so that
Mhm.
no kid is going hungry or without clean clothes or deodorant hygiene projects, things like that. And it's like, yeah, that does make a difference on some level, but I would love to see us get more funding. So I have kind of forged an alliance with a former opponent, Brian Morris, on ways that we could potentially get more funding from the state. That's a big thing to tackle right now, and so we're kind of new to and still feeling each other out because there was a lot of animosity between us. But again, I want to go back to that whole team thing. He lives here, I live here. We want to make this work in some fashion so
Yeah.
that we can move this forward. We don't talk about any of the other things. We strictly talk about schools and how we can make this go forward. So analyzing the budget that the school provides,
Mm.
seeing where the deficits are and how we can better support them. That's my goal right now. My mom currently sits on the school board, so I get a little bit more insight there too.
Very
Uh,
nice.
from meetings that I haven't gone to. And whatnot. We have several other members from the school board that also sit on the PTSO. So I glean a lot of insight from them.
Very
They
nice.
tell me where the areas are that need help, and we kind of mold our budget around those areas to help. But again, we're just a small group, so I would love to see the state kind of step in and provide
What
the
they're
funding
supposed to?
to. Yes.
Okay, I guess I'm in kind of a frank mood today. So, city council meetings can be long and demanding,
Mhm.
even for someone just coming to watch. How would you like to see them stay effective and engaged, as opposed to these marathon sessions? I feel like sometimes.
Yeah, so I had a great conversation with our new city manager, Mitch. And so I would actually like to see things broken down more into committees and then bringing what those committees find to the table to discuss as a council. I feel that it's most effective that way, whether it be time effective or, and cost effective too. Because I mean, if we have to bring in our city solicitor or our assessor or any municipal heads, that's money that we have to pay them when they have to come and attend these situations.
Yeah.
So I think that breaking things out into committees, getting down to the nitty gritty, working out all of the issues, and then coming to the committee as a whole for a final vote on what we've really worked through with all of the valid information that we've brought. We've done all
Yeah.
the homework and stuff. That's what I want to see.
Yes, let's hand in the homework already done, not with
Yeah.
the questions in the blanks, right? Sounds
Yes.
great. So the next section is called election and leadership. Voters will also be choosing other leaders, including the mayor. You do not have to answer this, as you know, but do you publicly support any candidate for mayor this year?
I do not publicly support any candidate specifically.
Okay.
What I do is I see value in both sides. I've worked alongside Glenn and I've had great interactions with Glenn. I think that he has some solid ideas. I think that he has similar ideas that need to kind of do a little bit more work on to make it, feasible. I've worked with Dee. I've gone on a field trip with her. I've seen what she can do. But again, I think that some of her ideas may need a little bit more oomph behind them or a little bit more direction towards them. But I see value in everybody. Everyone has good and bad. And so I feel like whoever does become our mayor will just have to hit the ground running, and we'll have to like really cohesively work with the council that is elected. We
True.
got 3 new
Doesn't
seats.
matter who gets elected, you're going to have to work with them, right?
100%, 100%.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, glad to hear that you are willing and capable and able and looking forward to doing that. Here's a good one. From your perspective, what are Franklin's greatest strengths and how would you build on those as a council member? Because staying with our strengths is always a good thing, for sure.
I definitely like to highlight the positives always. So, I mean, we have a fantastic nonprofit organizations, group
Yeah.
of organizations here in Franklin. So I think that highlighting those and what they do and how that kind of frees up municipal money, I think that's always a good thing to highlight.
Yeah.
I want to highlight a lot of other things too. I mean, we have just so many great attributes here. It's not even funny. We have lakes, we have bike trails, we have so many different resources that people don't even realize. So I would
Yeah.
really like to find like a way to disseminate that information to new people, to visitors, everything. I would love to see some sort of pamphlet or whatever it may be for newcomers.
Kiosk, you are
Yeah.
here.
Yes,
These are your
exactly.
choices. Find your own adventure.
Yes, like Goosebumps, choose your own adventure, exactly.
Yeah.
But these are all the things that Franklin has to offer. Now pick something and I promise you you'll enjoy it in one way or another.
You're right. I was very surprised moving here to find the plethora of things that are available. There's probably even still some that I don't even know about, but it's just more and more and more. And you're like, wow. And most of them don't cost anything. That's the crazy
Yeah,
part about it.
that's the other great part is like, I've lived here since like I said, 2018, and I'm still finding new things. Like the history, like there's so much here. It's ridiculous. I wish that there was just like a giant Franklin atlas where you can, find what you want to do or what you're interested in, and it would take you wherever you want to go within
Yes.
Franklin.
A Franklin AI tour guide, maybe.
Yeah.
So what sets you apart from other candidates maybe in your ward or just across the city? Because let's be honest, you are maybe in Ward 3, but you'll be representing the whole city.
Absolutely. So I get along with all of the candidates that are running, and
Great.
I think that that's a great thing. I differ from them in the fact that I have little kids. I don't.
Okay.
I don't see that a lot of them have little kids. I also have two disabled kids, and so that kind of. I always have the mindset of how is this going to be a good way or a good place for my kids to grow up. I always take them into account, and that actually helps me build upon it for other kids that have various needs and even adults that have various abilities. So that kind of
Yeah.
sets me apart is that I'm always keeping those ideas at the forefront of my mind, whether I'm talking to Marty about like how to improve upon the Whitewater Park. I had a great conversation with him about the ramp and it not exactly being ADA compliant. And I would love to see more things that are geared towards everybody as a whole with all abilities versus
Yeah.
just the select few of able-bodied people that are very much interested in those
I
things.
like that. I like that idea. Yeah. And I will tell you, in real estate and pretty much everything, parents are always looking out for their kids, and you're not the only one. Other people that want to move here are going to be looking at that too. So that's a great thing that sets you apart. So how can residents get in touch, follow your campaign, support you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a Facebook page. You can find me on Facebook all the time. Oh, well, most of the time. Let's be real. I have a lot of other things to do. Also, if you want to email me, Justine, Justine, for the number 4nh@gmail.com. You can shoot me an email anytime. Other than that, you'll see me around town. You can't really miss the giant cinnamon bun on top of my head. That's how most people figure out who I am. Um, I'm all over the place. You'll see me at the schools a lot of the times or volunteering in a lot of different ways, shapes, and forms. Just come up and say hi. I
Yeah.
don't bite people's head off. I'm very
Very
talkative.
approachable. You are.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining us. Is there any one final message you'd like to leave the voters of Franklin before you go?
Yeah, I would just like to tell the people of Franklin, vote with your conscience, but don't burn people for their differing views. We're a collective. We got a lot of different opinions and everything, but I can assure you that the one solid goal is that everyone wants Franklin to succeed. So just keep that in mind.
Yes, that sounds great. Thank you so much for joining us. And guys, we'll probably release this today, if not early tomorrow, but voting as soon as October 7th. If you haven't signed up to do that, you can always do it at the polls. Just make sure you bring your ID and, proof that you live where you live. And then the people there are really nice. They did that for me when I first came there. So don't be afraid. Go and vote. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Trestle Times Talks from the Franklin Communications Group. Like, subscribe, and share to support local voices. And if there's news we should cover, our contact info is in the notes. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay Franklin strong.